Hey everyone, Bright Builder here. Today I'm going to be going through 20 very important tips for playing Minecraft. Now, Minecraft has been out for quite some time. I believe it's hitting its 11th anniversary pretty soon, so that's quite a big milestone. You know, in all the time that it's been out, a lot of people have played it. But, no matter your skill level, there's always room for improvement, which is why today I've made a video showcasing 20 of, at least in my opinion, of what are some of the most important things to know. So these are 20 tips for Minecraft. Tip number 1, choose your setting wisely. Minecraft has a wide variety of biomes, things, ranging from wide grassy flat areas such as this plains biome to more leafy tree-covered forest areas such as this small patch of forest over here. And then you've got the, watery areas such as this large ocean we've got here. Throughout Minecraft, plenty of different locations can be found. And like I've already explained, many of them are flat, many of them aren't so flat. And when it comes to building a base or just, any kind of house you want to do, picking a good location is an essential aspect of what you're doing. For example, I wouldn't really want to build a modern build in the middle of a forest like this one, as it might be difficult to really get across the modern aesthetic, the modern vibe, in such a woodsy setting. I might try to go for a setting like the one pictured behind me for that, as it gives a lot more space and a lot more flexibility for that kind of a design. Tip number 2, try not to overlook things in your environment. As you can see here, this is a ruined portal, one of the many naturally generated structures that can appear in the world generation in Minecraft. As you can see, it is somewhat camouflaged within the brush. From this angle, of course, we can see the netherrack and magma blocks, but from a more discrete angle, you can see that it's pretty difficult to notice. So when you're playing Minecraft, especially during exploration, be sure to keep an eye out for, useful things like this. You never know what you might find. In this case, look at that. We've got a nice bit of gold, protection 3 golden chest plate, and of course, even more up here. And we've got a decent amount of the obsidian that we need to construct a finished portal. So, it's really important to keep an eye out for various naturally generated structures, as they can help you out greatly as you play the game. If you look far enough, you might even find a ruined ship, like the one I've come across here. Tip number 3, watch out. Minecraft is home to many dangerous creatures, including, but not limited to, the creeper, the spider, and the skeleton. Now, although these aren't the most dangerous mobs that you can come across in Minecraft's harsh landscape, I've found that these are some of the most dangerous ones, and for those reasons, are to be watched out for. Also, lava is something that many fall victim to, and while you're on your quest to locate some diamonds and escape with your life, I would be especially careful to watch out for this stuff. Tip number 4, time is your friend. Now, no matter the time in Minecraft, it always looks quite nice with its beautiful landscapes and wide open oceans. But at certain times of day, you may encounter more dangerous creatures than others, namely night. Now, at nighttime, you're sure to find numerous mobs spawning around, especially in the less dimly lit areas of your world. To avoid being attacked by creatures, go ahead and craft a bed. Not only will this look good in your home, but it'll also do an excellent job at skipping night, which means that you don't have to worry about sudden attacks from various mobs. Tip number 5. I know that this is a rather specific one, but I feel that it's important to mention it all the same. Be nice to bees, no pun intended. Now, although that they don't seem incredibly important at first glance, bees are actually a very critical aspect of world progression. Now, you certainly don't need them to beat Minecraft, but I've found that having various things such as supplies of honey and honeycomb can be useful. You can use, these not only look good as building blocks, but they actually work quite well in redstone mechanisms if you craft them into honey blocks. If you come across a beehive, be sure not to break it, as, of course, if you're not using a silk touch pickaxe, you will destroy it permanently and anger all the bees inside. Instead, why not try to feed the bees, causing them to make more bees and therefore more honey? Tip number 6. Be kind to your village friends. Throughout the world of Minecraft, you'll find a number of villages that look a bit like this. Depending on the biome you're in, their look may vary. For example, this is a spruce village, hence the building materials and villager designs. Now, although these individuals may seem like, a good target for attack, I think you'll find it an equally good idea to just be nice to them. Let them live. See if they give you any nice trades. If you really want to later on, you can start a raid on them and then defeat the raid. Now, this seems a bit counterintuitive, but if you didn't know, completing a raid actually gets all of the villagers to give you better trades. So the next time you're attacking one of your large-nosed friends, why not stop for a minute and consider the possibility that they might be better to trade with. Tip number 7. Don't craft gold stuff. Just don't do it. There's no reason why you should. Just don't craft it. It's terrible. It's garbage. Like, it's really, really bad. The stuff just breaks instantly. I mean, you can see how quickly the durability on this pickaxe is down. I couldn't even finish that sentence without it just breaking on me. Like, how bad is that? The moment you pull it out, it's basically already destroyed. Look at that. All I did was smack a couple of cows and boom. My axe is gone. It's garbage. Like, the sword isn't much better either. Like, a couple of baby cows, and if I can actually hit them, then... Yeah, see, that's a large dent of the sword's durability just taken off by smacking a couple of cows. I dare say I'm outraged by the terrible durability of golden tools. You're dead to me, sword. You're dead to me. Which brings me to my next topic. Just don't get too worked up about Minecraft. It's just a game. As you could see there, I went on a bit of a rant about how terrible golden tools are. We all have things we don't like about Minecraft, but when we play it, at least in my experience, it's best to just focus on the nice stuff. Like this lovely naturally generated landscape I'm standing in the middle of. How nice is this? Anyways, which one are we on now? I believe tip number 9. Tip number 9, that's right. Manage your hunger. Minecraft is called a survival game for a reason. If you're not careful with what you're eating, you might just end up in a situation like this, where you don't know where you're going, you're completely lost, and you're incredibly hungry. Now, this is never good, because often you'll have valuable items on you, unlike me, and generally, if you're unable to locate your way back to your base or your house or wherever all of your possessions are, things may not turn out so well. Of course, you may be able to locate food either by killing animals or, doing some last-minute agriculture, though I doubt that the latter would be a very efficient way of getting food. But no matter what your case is, being hungry on the go is never a good thing. I myself enjoy eating some golden carrots. Not only do they provide excellent saturation, but they raise your hunger bar quickly, and you regenerate your health almost immediately. I mean, look how quickly that's going. In just a couple of minutes here, I'll be back up to full. The best thing about golden carrots is that they're not incredibly expensive. While gold may be occasionally difficult to come by, carrots are very easy to grow. In fact, if you're really ambitious, you can even set up an automatic villager farm for them. All in all, though, golden carrots, especially in the late game, are an excellent main source of food. They are my one exception to my hatred of all things golden. Tip number 10. If you happen to come across a ravine, instead of just simply walking past it and dismissing it as just yet another element of Minecraft's terrain, nothing too interesting, why not take a minute and look at it? Now, immediately, the first thing you'll notice is that there is a bit of ore exposed, and in many deeper or larger ravines, there might even be some more valuable stuff. But additionally, it poses a really nice location to build a base. Now, it's not the first thing that comes to mind, but if you really look at it, this ravine has a very nice open area, and if the sort of cave atmosphere is what you're going for, then it certainly saves you the time of mining out a large area. Additionally, making a base in a ravine gives you very easy access to mining spots. As you can see, this one is pretty wide. You could set up a base here, just put a nice flooring here, a bit of a ceiling, and boom, you've got yourself a very spacious, open area in which to live. Tip 11. While mining sand, which I find myself doing quite frequently in attempts to get large amounts of concrete, the initial strategy of just simply mining in a straight line in your nearest desert biome seems pretty apparent. But especially when the biome goes a bit deeper, mining and placing a torch is a pretty good solution. As you can see, I nailed it the first time. It's kind of a fine art, but as you can see, if you place a torch right at the exact moment that the first block is going, you're able to instantly clear out large amounts of sand. And I believe that this works with all gravity-affected blocks. You know, you've got gravel, various concretes, all sorts of stuff. Tip number 12. The simple water bucket can be more useful than you would initially think. Now, as you can see, this is nothing but a bucket of water, but it's actually much more. For example, it's a navigational tool. I can use it to ascend. And if I put myself into survival mode real quick, you can see that I simply pop it down, climb up. This desert biome isn't the best, but as you can see, you just sort of up, and it works with any height, though I have to warn you, it takes much longer with other inclines and things. This isn't very high at all, so it doesn't take long. It also works as an excellent fall breaker, so let's see if I can get this. As you can see, if you just spam click or time it perfectly, jumping from a great height and clicking your water bucket on the ground at just the right moment works quite well. Speaking of water, there's actually quite a neat trick if you want to generate it infinitely. Now, many would agree that it's quite annoying to have to constantly go to your nearest ocean biome or lake to get more water, but as you can see, if you dig out a 4x4 space, put water in it, then you can infinitely get more and more water from this area. Tip number 13. Now, I'm sure that many of you are familiar with Minecraft speedrunning and its many tactics towards getting the best world record for completing Minecraft. Now, a key element of doing this is to very quickly construct a Nether Portal. People have various methods of this, but one key factor is that people really don't tend to get a diamond pickaxe as you need to mine obsidian. What people prefer to do is the following. You can actually create sort of a mold of your Nether Portal. As you can see, I'm using lava and lava source blocks to create sort of the basic outline of the Nether Portal that I'll be using. So if I just put in a bit of dirt, I can create the mold of my Nether Portal. So, a bit of lava there. As you can see, I'm a bit sloppy with this. This is actually my first attempt at this particular trick. But you sort of get the idea that with the use of a water source block and a pool of lava, you can quite easily make a Nether Portal without having to get a diamond pickaxe. Though, in all honesty, I don't think that's advisable, because the Nether is quite a dangerous place, and at least in my experience, you don't want to go there without decent stuff. Tip number 14. The Desert Temple, one of Minecraft's many naturally generated structures. Like all the other ones, this one contains a number of hidden goodies, but also some deadly secrets. You may be familiar with these, you may not, but one very important element of these is their treasure hold, which is accessible by mining the central blocks of it. As you can see, we've got a stone pressure plate here. If done correctly, getting into the center of the desert temple is quite simple. You just mine down, land not on the pressure plate, where you have free access to all of its many chests and their goodies inside. Of course, there is a hidden trap. TNT, which is rigged to the pressure plate at the center. If you're not careful, you might accidentally fall in and cause this. And no one wants that. So the next time you find a desert temple, be sure not to let this happen. Number 15. The last thing you want in your Minecraft house is for it to be blown up by monsters. But it turns out that might be just what you get. As you can see, this house is clearly not lit, and as a result, it may just be blown up by monsters. As you can see, this house was poorly lit, so a creeper blew it up. How unfortunate. Okay. Enough of that. I'm sorry. It was a cheap joke. I had to do it, though. It was too easy an opportunity. Moving on. Number 16, that is. Number 16. Mine intelligently. Now, mining in Minecraft is a key aspect, as you are probably already aware of. In fact, that they called it that for a reason. So generally, it's a good idea to have good and efficient strategies to mine. For example, one might find that just simply going around the surface and locating a cave to plunge down is a good idea, while others, and I am one of them, prefer to simply go underground and mine in one direction for ages. Ooh, look, I found some nice iron. This has its own negatives, as if you are walking really quickly, if you have a good enough pickaxe to do that, then you may find that lava will be something that you're quite easily susceptible to. But on the other hand, it has its own benefits. For example, if you're doing this, then you can also create your own networks and tunnelways simultaneously. So not only will you establish a good method of transportation, but you'll also locate valuable ores. Tip number 17. When you get far enough into Minecraft, you'll quickly realize that there's more to it than just defeating the Ender Dragon. Once the dragon has been defeated, a number of gateways will open up around the edges of the end. If you go through them with the use of an Ender Pearl, then you'll notice that you'll be teleported into the outer end, a vast area filled with cities and mostly just boring islands. While the boring islands are like they sound boring, the end cities are filled with unique creatures such as shulkers and more endermen, and they also contain a number of useful resources such as rare armor and enchantments and even elytra. Elytra have been in the game for quite some time now, but in case you're not familiar with them, if you equip them, have fireworks on you, double tap spacebar, and use the fireworks, you'll be flung into the sky where you can freely fly around. I mean, look at this. Elytra are really cool. I recommend that if you're getting pretty far into your survival world, you explore the end and locate one for yourself. Now, I do have to warn you to be careful with these because, as you can see, it's a bit perilous. You'll be flying around at high speeds, and if you're not careful, you might find yourself crashing into the ground. In that case, I didn't die, but it didn't feel very good either. Tip number 18. When it comes to playing on multiplayer servers, there are a few things to keep in mind. First of all, stay safe online. If you're playing with people who you don't know, be sure not to reveal any personal information about yourself or say anything unfriendly. If you are playing with friends, though, then the things to remember are more just Minecraft-based rather than security. One of these, and one of the key aspects of Minecrafting in general, is not to leave trees floating. As you can see, one of the easiest methods of mining wood isn't to get the entire tree, but simply to mine the most easily accessible bit of it and run along to the next one, where I can mine more, leave it floating, and go about my business with my newly claimed 8 pieces of acacia wood, which I might add isn't a very nice wood either. But all in all, leaving trees floating is a terrible idea, because by doing that, not only are you leaving, trees floating and harming the environment, but you're also distancing yourself from your friends as people and generally making everyone hate you. Tip number 19. Use redstone, and in many cases, abuse redstone. As you can see here, I've got a couple of observers, nothing too special. But if I add the simple bell, then I've single-handedly created a bell observer clock. This will indefinitely ring, causing everyone in the vast vicinity to have a terrible headache while being annoying. Now, this is yet another thing that I don't recommend you do, as people will despise you for it, but I myself find that doing things like this can actually be quite a bit of fun, if used in moderation. Which brings me to my final and almost definitely most important tip of the video. Tip 20. Although it probably goes without saying, never dig straight down. Although it may initially seem like a fun, effective, and overall smart way of mining, I've already explained numerous good methods of finding useful ores. Digging straight down is not one of them. As you can see, it just leads to bad. And in this case, though I may not have lost my tools because they were made out of netherite, what I did lose was my soul. So there you go, 20 of what I think are some of the most useful tips for effectively playing Minecraft. If there's anything you think I missed or anything else you want to see on this channel, feel free to comment down in the comments section below. I would really appreciate it if you showed any, possible revisions or things that you would like me to improve on. As always, though, thank you for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.